Greetings, listeners. Your host for the night, Zach, here again, introducing you to another episode of The Call, our Call of Cthulhu actual playcast. We're well into our gameplay live stream of Alien Isolation on Twitch, so follow us there at twitch.tv/TwistedGearsStudios. We stream trivia Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, our Ko-fi donator-voted video game, which is currently Alien Isolation, on Wednesdays and Fridays at 3 to 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and on Sundays we'll host live Q&As while Zach edits the Call and Spacers podcasts from 3 to 6 p.m. as well. And if you donate on Ko-fi, you can vote on what game we play after Alien Isolation is done. Ko-fi now has a subscription option as well that allows you to grant sanity to your favorite investigators. And now, with all that being said...
Chaos! The monsters from the morgue have been dealt with, but not before it wreaked havoc on the house staff. At the time of its death, Althea was mentally linked to it, and she is now experiencing death in her mind as Amos struggles with having inadvertently saved Agatha's mind at the cost of her eye.
Oh, okay, so apparently Agatha has a big empty socket that seems to be leaking. It's not, like, a bit of blood came out, but it doesn't seem to be, like, bleeding freely. It seems like it hollowed out an area, and it's sort of, like, cauterized inside. So it's just sort of...
Okay.
Oh.
Do I still have my lids? Or no?
You don't.
It is a legit hole.
It is a hole in your head.
It's just...
So it popped out the eye,
here.
but it was also attached to your lids, and that came with it, so you have this ragged... But you're not really bleeding like you'd think you would be.
Is it like when you take off like a scab and it just does that initial bleed?
Yeah, a little bit.
know.
But the issue is it is sort of leaking some kind of fluid. Now, not a black fluid or a green fluid.
Oh, is it like
a,
the clear stuff?
Yeah, it's like a clear fluid that's just leaking, and it hurts like a motherfucker.
Yep, I would imagine it would.
It hurts like a motherfucker.
I'm screaming.
Amos is still sort of looking at the fire where he threw the whatever it was in. But I'm going to go to Marion.
That's fair.
I am going to go to Marion.
Don't let me do something.
Who is... You're sort of standing over Althea.
Yeah,
and
basically.
she's just like wide-eyed. So
as soon as she started falling, I just like Althea, and I run up to her and I'm next to her, and the tendrils are still sticking into her face.
Yes, the tendrils, even though it burnt, it didn't pull out. So
I'm
the
gonna
tendril.
try to grab them and pull them out.
Okay, fair enough. Because it's not living, quotation marks. Yeah, you can just pull them out, and you do. But she still seems to be like, she looks dead.
I'm gonna kind of slap her face. Althea, wake up! And then I'm gonna look up at you guys and yell, "Someone go get Cadbury!"
Are you gonna be alright?
I'm screaming.
Yes.
You're screaming.
I'm probably
Okay,
hyperventilating
okay.
too.
Before I move on from Marion, I would like Marion to make a first aid check.
That's fair.
Because even though you're sort of, a little bit of panic there and you're slapping her, you're still just a first aid check.
Right there. 8 out of 33.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do realize as you're doing it, you check her pulse, and she is alive. But she seems to be comatose, so that we can just move on from there.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to...
How close are we to the fire?
Oh, 5, 6 feet? 5 feet? You were fairly close, see? You were fairly close.
I'm gonna try and drag her a little bit further away from the fire, but
Sure.
I have a leg wound and I'm not very strong, so we
Yeah,
won't
that's
get very
true.
far.
Yeah.
I'm not very strong.
So we won't get far, but I'll be kind of moving her along.
Makes sense.
Okay. Having heard Marion say, "Go get Cadbury,"
Help! Someone help!
while this one's still screaming.
I'll go very quickly to interject as well. Marion, as you look up to call for help, you notice Agatha is screaming in pain, and she has a hole in her head where her eye used to be. Her right eye. It's this eye.
This one.
Yeah.
In order to get help, what I'm going to do is while you're screaming and doing whatever.
I'm
you're
also
doing,
holding on to you, remember?
Yeah, you're
Yeah, I know.
gripped on tight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start pulling at the sleeve of the robe. I'm gonna start trying to tear the sleeve off of her robe. Seems weird. I have nothing to tear.
Yeah, boxer shorts.
No.
No.
Now, because
That's
it
not
is
very clean.
because it is a robe, it will be a strength check.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make
It's just a base. It's just base.
Well, that's 100. That's 100.
I don't know how you made the robe stronger.
Damn, the stitching is
You grab the robe actually, and
Quality.
you try to pull it apart. And what it does is it loosens up where Agatha had tried to tie it over. So for a second,
not
it
coming out
looks
right.
like you're trying to, trying to disrobe
I
her, and you realize, oh wait, this is, ugh, and you just let go. That's what
fuck
it
it.
is.
It's just
And she's in a lot of pain.
there's nothing near me that's like clothing or something that I could use to help.
There are tablecloths inside the dining room, like for
Which is like right beside, like right on the other side of this threshold.
Yeah, so you could just... Now, when I say that the body is on fire, it is more smoldering now with slight flames. It's not like it's super flammable. It's not like it's...
It's not catching anything else in the room? on
No. Now, you are screaming in pain.
fire? No, I know.
You could
I'm sorry.
notice this.
I'm sorry.
But I will allow Marion and Amos to both make spot hidden rolls, because they may notice something.
Shit.
12 out of 53.
I love this percentile die, but also there's a 10% chance of hating this percentile die. That's a 3.
Okay, so you both notice that the frame of the door, or the doors themselves, should be singed, right?
Yeah.
It's fire. There is no visible damage at all to this area. The house is not hurt by
Including
this.
the floor?
Well, it's on the floor, but there is no
Where?
singe marks on the outer ring. It doesn't look like the house is affected at all.
Are you okay? To
Well, that was lucky.
Are you okay to let go of me just for? I'll be right. Just
I'm
2
in
seconds.
pain.
Willpower. It's a willpower roll,
Yeah.
Agatha. It's a hard willpower roll.
32 out of 32. No, 35. So there you go.
No, what's your... Oh, yeah, so you
So
did
that
do
would
a
s-
hard willpower
Yeah,
roll.
that would be my hard.
Yeah,
sorry.
so you sort of stop screaming and you sort of listen as Amos...
I'm gonna like try and take one. I'm gonna take both of your hands off my shoulders. I will hold on to one, and I'm gonna reach around the corner to grab some kind of towel to give her for her eye.
Oh, actually, instead of having to get into the room, there was a phone
There
that was thrown. And
Yeah.
there was a cloth on the small little table that the phone was laid on. That makes a lot more sense.
Press
A
that.
doily? You just
Yeah, it's a
gave me
doily. A doily.
Whatever.
It's
press
absorbent.
this against your eye. I'm gonna go get Cadbury.
I'm probably going to do, you know, that fetal position thing? Like, just I'll have my hand like this, but I'll probably just, like, I don't know what to do. I'm probably not convulsing, but hyperventilating.
I'm not gonna leave it. I'm gonna yell, Simon Cadbury, get the fuck over here!
Okay. So upon that, you see from the end of this enormously long hall. Like, I mean, it's like it travels through time. There is... You see Cadbury sort of running on up, because what he did was... Well, actually, I'll let him explain. He sort of runs on up, and he's around 10, 15 feet away from you in the hall, so he can't see inside yet. And he seems to be more properly... Got his hair fixed, and he's tied up right with a smoking jacket.
Glad to see you had time to put yourself to fucking together.
He's like, yeah, I just made sure all the staff is the word. I made sure all the staff got out free, and then I was waiting down at the end of the hall for if you needed me. Whoa, this is not his voice. But, you know, me. But he's like, yeah, so, I don't remember what Cadbury's voice is, but okay. He's like, yeah, okay, so what seems
Explain
to be...
it later. Get a medical bag. Althea's hurt, and so is
Althea's
Agatha.
hurt!
Get
and
a
he's
medical
gone.
bag.
He is gone. Like,
That's fair.
gone.
Was that Cadbury?
Yep.
Okay. Can there's a kitchen just over there. Can you get a damp cloth?
You okay if I leave for a few minutes? Like I'm actually like
It's up
he's
to- I-
no. He's actually asking Agatha, "Are you okay if I'll be right back. Are you okay if I leave?"
I'm in shock.
So you don't
I'm
answer?
sorry. No, I'm not
Okay.
going to answer. I'm in shock.
That's fine. He's just asking and seeing what your reaction is. With no reaction, he will very slowly let go and see if she's grabbing on, and then walks to the kitchen to
Willpower
grab a
roll.
damp rag.
For me?
Yeah, willpower roll. You're playing it up, so I got to play
I'm not
with
asking
it.
Lindsay. Amos is asking Agatha
Yeah, I know.
to see if she's okay.
Agatha.
30 out of 70.
Yeah.
So-
You snap a bit more out of it,
Yeah.
right? You're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like takes a bit, but not 2 hard checks in a row.
Do you need me to stay?
No.
Okay.
So
Amos, where's Agatha?
she's
she's
Right
sitting on the
here.
floor.
Oh,
Yes,
like,
yeah.
can I see her from
Yeah,
where I'm
yeah,
at?
yeah, yeah.
You saw the hole in my face.
Yeah.
That's yeah,
That's
but
fine.
then you sat down, and I thought you sat down against the wall.
Because
I
you said
could
you were
see
going fetal, that's why it's
Oh,
that way.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, you
Yeah.
do see Agatha.
Okay, bring her a glass of water, and I need a damp cloth or something cool, and and Bob has some cloths. I'm bleeding again.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because you look at Marion and there's like blood running.
I'm
from her
sitting.
bullet. Oh, yeah, but she's sitting down, but there's a bit of blood pooling.
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
ground.
I'll go to the kitchen. I'm gonna grab a pitcher, 3 glasses. I'm gonna soak 3 rags. I'm gonna fill the pitcher, and I'm gonna run back into the living room.
Sure.
2 cloths and the pitcher to you. Take 1 glass of water and then a rag to Agatha as well.
So yeah, you drop off 2 rags and some water to Marion, and then
Right.
1 to. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so he gives you some rags and stuff.
I'm gonna press one cool cloth to the back of her neck and use the other to kind of like mop her face and like
She
just trying
seems to be ashen.
to see if I can like wake her up or at least see if she's bleeding anywhere.
There seems to be no reaction.
The tendrils that came out of her face, it would just went up her nose, right? It didn't.
What
it
and
didn't- it didn't-
along here?
Okay, is that area bleeding?
No. It's not. It doesn't seem to be really bleeding. There's a little drop of blood, but it's not like bleeding. And it doesn't look like it's filling up with blood or anything.
Would I know to
She
check
seems
her?
cold.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna take off my robe and put it over her.
Okay.
Would I know to check her pupils?
Sure.
Okay. Do I notice anything weird?
Fully dilated. Which is strange.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm just sitting with Agatha until she feels
Okay.
better, but periodically barking, "Simon, where the fuck are you?"
So it takes around 2 to 3 minutes for Cadbury
Yeah.
to get back, and he has his doctor's bag because he was a field medic.
Mhm.
So he has his sort of doctor's bag.
Yeah. Our regular doctor's the one unconscious.
Yeah. And he sort of runs up and he sort of looks at Agatha and he looks at Althea and he goes to Althea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
makes
figures.
Yeah. So he goes on over to Althea and he sort of kneels down on the floor. And he checks her pulse. He's like, "Oh, God. Thank God. Oh. Whew." And he slaps Althea. He just like slaps. He's like, "Ooh. And he just starts, checking her pulse again and, opening her eyes and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, "Oh, we need to get her down to the medical laboratory," or whatever you young kids call it, the laboratoire. And he sort of leaves his bag and he just picks Alfie up in his arms and starts going.
I pick up the bag.
Mhm.
And I go out to those two and I say, "We're headed down to the medical facility. Agatha,
Yeah, I
come on,
probably can walk.
we should get you looked at as well."
Yeah, I'll
Alright.
probably get up, but I'll need someone to help because now I have no sight on.
I'm gonna stick with her the whole way.
I'm leaning on you as well.
Yeah, she is a bullet wound.
All
The
right.
women in your life are in rough shape right now.
Okay,
Talking to the man with most of his bones broken and held together by the sins of the ages.
striped boxers.
Funny because it's
Yeah, straight boxers, yeah.
All right. So so you could walk fully on your own just with depth of perception. So I'm gonna put an arm around you
Yeah.
as you got your robe around you with the wet towel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take your arm, Agatha, put that around
Marion.
Marion. Just get Agatha, keep your arms to yourself. I'm gonna put my arm around you to keep guiding you. You can take your arm, Marion, put that around me so that I can help you, but you can see where the fuck you're going.
I'm very carefully not looking at you because you're not wearing any clothes.
I don't.
And you're just in a slip.
I'm not even thinking about that right
It's
now.
very embarrassing.
Yes, this is extremely embarrassing.
I'll blush later.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. I don't give a crap.
Yeah, that's the furthest thing for people's minds.
Walking around in all our underwear.
From the ghost of Althea.
Except for me. Except for me, I was fully clothed with a black gooey apron on.
That's
And
fair.
now you
Actually,
also have my
Oh,
robe.
clothes is gone.
Yeah.
So you get to the stairs of the Labrar with the telltale hole, and
Technically, Agatha's the one who had the heart in there, so hers is the telltale hole.
Yeah, no shit.
no. But the door
Jesus.
the door is open because Cadbury was ahead of you, and
Yes.
he's going down the stairs. And as the Marion and Agatha and Amos is sort of a group together, you just hear Simon downstairs, and you just hear him like, "Fuck!" He doesn't even see you yet, but he's just like swearing at something. He's just like, "Fuck!" And you can smell burnt flesh.
What?
So then as you start going down the stairs, there's a bit of smoke down here. Now there is a ventilation. And the body that was there is even more burnt. He took it off to the floor and lit it on fire again or something. That's what it seems like he did.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's sort of looking up and he's got like soot and stuff on himself. And he seems to have like scratches on his face. That like a little bit of blood is dripping out. And he sort of looks up and he's a little bit like wide-eyed. And he's like, "Oh!" And Cadbury's coming down and with Althea, and the three of you are following down. He's like, "It's about time!"
Hey, listen here, you little fuck.
Amos! Simon, what happened in here?
Oh, come on down. And Cadbury's like, "That's enough of this." And he sort of like shoulders by to another table, lays Althea down, and then Simon turns to you as you all get down there and is like, "Yeah, well, I was thinking, sort of that maybe there was more than one. There could have been more than one in the body or something like that, and there was like really small ones, so I decided to just burn it."
There was more?
There was
How
more.
many?
Hundreds. I think it's very fascinating. I
Sure.
think that it's some of them are different than others. Some of these slugs are different than other ones, and I think this is like a queen slug.
Like
This is where they originate from.
the big one.
Yeah. This body was riddled with them.
All right, let's talk about that in a moment here. Marion here's got a wound in her leg. Althea.
Who shot you?
Actually, she's over there, and she looked dead, and then this one here's wounded in the face.
Oh. And I'm assuming, Agatha, that you have your hand up to your face?
Yes, with
He's
the
like,
cloth.
"Oh, you were hurt around the eye area?"
I'm gonna take the cloth away.
And so I was just like, "Jesus!
I slap him.
What the?" Well, yeah.
I slap him.
Yeah. You notice that when you hit him, you notice that when you slap him, you feel it too. And he sort of looks at you, He's like, "How did that feel?"
Pretty damn
that, 'cause
good.
He's like,
Pretty damn good.
like,
Get
not
your
gonna-
shit together.
Of course, Kid Brothers.
What?
Yeah, because you're really
I know.
super connected.
I forgot about that.
He just looks at you like, "Oh man." He's like, "Yeah, we got some work to do here." He's like, well, I guess. And Cadbury seems to be over with Althea, so Simon sort of says, "Well, maybe we'll check Althea. She doesn't look well." Like he just goes over there first.
It's Althea or Agatha?
No, he goes over to Althea
Okay.
with Cadbury first because she's the one who's unconscious.
Who seems dead? Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes over, and Cadbury's there, and Cadbury's like, and you're all around, and anyone can jump in.
I'm gonna find a chair.
Yeah, there's like those stools on wheels like you see in labs and stuff. Like university labs, where you can move around in them. That's what's there.
Sit on one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cadbury is looking down at Althea and is like, she just seems to be like unconscious, but I can't wake her up. And then Simon is like, oh, okay. Well, what happened to her?
She was connected to the creature when it...
Connected? Like he was touching? It was touching her?
It reached out to her and grabbed onto her. I thought it would let her go if we hurt it, and
like the slug was?
No, it was using one of the staff.
Oh, it found a new host.
Yes, it was.
It made it look like Marion.
What? He just seemed shocked. Oh man, that changes everything.
Does it?
Does?
Well, it can mimic people.
I
Like how close to Marion did it look? He seems fascinated. He's in one of those Simon, he's fascinated moments. You know what I mean? Like it's.
You're gonna want to curb the enthusiasm there, but I will tell you, you're one of the only ones that didn't touch during this squabble.
Is this unusual?
Yeah, I'd have to do some research up in the library, but I mean, this opens up like how close did it look to Marion? Like how close was it?
Pretty spot on, minus the facial expressions it was making that was uncharacteristic.
No.
For this type of creature, you've encountered them before?
Somewhat, but this is my first experience with this. This seems to be different. That's what I mean. Like it's like a different type.
Right.
But now saying that, you said it was touching her, so like the host's hand was touching her. It was.
No, more of a.
I'll chime in because I had the thing latched onto the face.
Sure. But you don't remember that.
But whoa, yeah.
The only one that could speak to it is Mary, and she's the only one that saw it.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I have the wounds though. People are seeing the wounds because someone can point out that it's similar.
I didn't see it happen.
I didn't see it attack you.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause
I
it's
saw it attack Althea.
Yeah,
I
the
didn't
only
see it
one-
attack
Plus,
you.
you're so covered in blood and viscera.
And you ripped them out of your face pretty quickly.
So basically,
The
what
only
happens,
eyewitness is Marion.
Agatha, you do put your put your finger out like you're gonna say something, and then you seem confused, like you thought you knew something, like you had something,
Right.
and it's gone. It's because of the mental break. It's just the way that works.
I suppose fingers, but not from its hand or its arm. These long.
Can you roll me a? Do you have medicine?
No,
Well, you roll me a medicine check or biology check.
I don't have that either.
So 1%.
So 47.
Okay, yeah, no, I just wanted, because you never know. Sometimes you
no, yeah.
crack out the 1%.
Yep.
Sure.
I'm just figuring without
Yeah, go
medicine
ahead,
or
keep
science,
going.
she wouldn't know to use the word tendril.
Yeah.
Um,
So, there was some kind of growth or something coming off of it?
yes, from one of the, it reached out and grabbed onto her face, grabbed onto into her nose.
Oh, so it connected.
Yes.
Oh, that's fascinating.
I needed to
Smack
to
you.
pull it out like a root, or a vine.
Oh. And exactly what caused Althea to get in the state that she's in?
She when we
When did it happen?
when we lit the creature on fire, that's when she started screaming, and it was just after
no.
that.
It's a bit vague, so Simon does need to make a check.
Agatha also blew its fucking head off.
So
I did.
You did good.
he's like, oh, fuck.
See, I'm not the only one.
Okay, yeah. I'm thinking that it connected in some way so that Althea was feeling what it was feeling. So when you lit it on fire, she probably felt like she was on fire. And when... Who shot it? Is there a reaction to this, Agatha? Because you don't remember?
I'm just gonna look stunned. I'm just gonna
So when you
shrug my shoulders and be like, oh, okay.
So when I guess Agatha shot it.
Oh, I guess I should say I pointed Agatha. I suppose pointing doesn't actually work in radio. I pointed
true. I didn't
Agatha.
even
I'm like,
pick up on
Agatha
that.
did it.
Yeah.
Not accusatory.
Hey,
just
all
like
the
this
listeners knew.
One. Oh my god.
Yeah. And when you shot it and killed it, she probably felt that too. So she's probably in.
Earlier when I guessed, that was mean. This is Mary didn't realize. Right?
Yeah. It's like
I guess. Except she feels
the
horrible.
gasp. Oh, okay.
Althea thinks she's dead. That's essentially what it is.
So Simon then just sort of turns away from you guys and goes over to Althea.
So
Oh,
is she hurt then? Is she?
Only
is she physically?
only spiritually and mentally, probably.
It ain't physically, so I suppose that's a point in our ball court.
So he goes over. Yeah, he's just like he's very vague, right? He's just like. So he goes over and he's sort of like looking at her eyes and stuff like that. He's like, okay, yeah, and he just seems to be like in thought. And then he sort of turns and goes over to cupboards and starts opening up cupboards. Looks like he's taking out different chemicals and medications and stuff like that. He seems to be looking through it.
Am I? Can I make a medicine check to suggest a chemical that could be used?
Sure.
'Cause it depends on
Well, yeah. Actually, what is the chemical you're going to suggest?
adrenaline.
And what is your rank in medicine?
35.
Whoa.
Okay, so I'm yeah, you'll have to roll a medicine check.
12.
Put a
Out of
tick in
35.
medicine.
Nice. Dope.
Nice.
Dope, motherfucker.
And you say, yeah, no, go ahead.
If the body thinks that it's dead, usually adrenaline could work.
And he sort of looks back and he's like, oh god, that's a better idea than what I had. And he just reaches, opens up one of the drawers.
Why doesn't that
What
fucking
was that?
surprise me?
Could it be? Oh, okay.
And he was going to do something different.
I don't want to know.
And he, basically, it's weird because he does seem to know what's in the drawers. Like, he does seem,
That's because he's been snooping around my house.
yeah, he does seem to know his way around a bit.
He's been snooping around your house. He's also been snooping around your house when your grandfather owned it.
Yeah.
It's just
He probably helped design this lab. Let's be honest.
It's probably his.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No. So he grabs a fairly large needle and he goes over and he crawls up.
Jesus.
He crawls up on the table,
I'm not gonna feel
like legs either side, and he seems to have his hand down around the breastbone, like around the rib cage. He seems to be trying to line up a spot, and it's a fairly long needle, right? And he's sort of like raising it up.
Hold it. Shouldn't Cadbury do this?
And Cadbury's like,
No.
just shakes his head, and he's just like, well, I mean, I could, but he seems to know what he's doing,
Okay.
right?
Whoa.
I'm-
Because Simon just looks over at you, and he's just like, yeah, I mean, whew.
That's why, yes.
But Simon knows what he's doing
Okay.
Yeah.
as he rolls his percentage. Yeah, that's fine. So, and pierces this fairly large needle into somewhere around the rib cage of Althea, and pushes the plunger in
Jesus.
for whatever adrenaline. So, Althea, need you to react to adrenaline right now.
Okay. Well, before my brain thought I died, the last thing it remembered was being on fire. So I wake up screaming.
And Simon sort of gets shocked by it and falls off the table.
Jesus.
And he hits his shoulder pretty hard. And then your shoulder hurts, Amos.
God damn it.
Yeah. And you can't see Simon because he's behind the table. And he's just like, ah, damn it, that's going to leave a bruise. You too, Amos.
Little fuck.
I try to jump out of my chair and go and then sit back down.
Well, I'd say I wake up screaming for a minute, and then my brain realizes I'm not in the same pain I was, so I just kind of.
And you're in adrenaline, so you're like,
Holy. And I just sit up and I jump up off the table, and I have put like heroin and stuff into my body before, so.
That's fair.
heroin's a little bit different than adrenaline.
I know, but I'm just
Know your
kind of like.
drugs.
I'm just kind of like standing there and just like, okay.
Sit down.
No, there's no sitting there. Adrenaline, pure adrenaline.
I've never had adrenaline.
What the?
Have you've been on roller coasters though?
No. But I mean,
That's a great
Amos is like, sit down, not really understanding that. Oh, right, you have a drug that's making you physically incapable of sitting.
Right.
Oh my god, what happened? Where am I? Where am I? What? My heart's beating really bad.
Slow.
Fast.
Deep breath.
Fast.
Althea.
Christ.
Yeah, keep breathing. Just focus.
And then Simon gets up, holds Althea by the shoulder, and slaps her. Now,
I'm gonna try punching him back.
that's what I mean. If anything's gonna bring Althea out of this, it's rage.
I braced myself, knowing full well that this is well deserved.
I probably will miss.
Fighting brawl.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I know I'm gonna miss, but that's
Hey, let's see.
Well deserved
Because this would be awesome.
for both him and me.
I rolled a 12 out of 28.
Put a tick in fighting brawl. It's 1d3 damage plus your damage bonus.
I
Take
don't
that
have
damage.
a damage
Two,
bonus.
do I?
We'll see.
I rolled a 6 on a d6.
So, it takes 3, because I don't believe you have a damage
No, I
bonus.
don't.
Does anybody have a damage bonus?
No.
No.
Okay. Yeah, so you full-on punch Simon in the face. Reflexively, Amos, your head moves with Simon's as if you got smacked.
Christ.
You take 1 point of damage.
Oh, God, I'm not looking very good.
How many hit points total maximum do you have?
13.
How many do you have left?
8.
Okay, no, you're still fine.
Did I sustain injury to my eye when he pulled it out?
Yeah, it's gone. It's completely destroyed.
No, like hit points.
But his
Oh,
hit points.
hit point
Did
wise.
I?
That's a fair point. As you're ruminating over, you take 2 points of damage.
That's fair.
No, that's fair. Thanks for reminding me.
Literally
of that.
ripped a quarter of your face off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Althea, you punch him and Simon sort of like flicks back, slaps you again.
Okay, I get up and I grab Simon and I pull him back and away.
Yeah.
And I'm just like still there adrenaline going, you should know that if I'm full of drugs, slapping me's not gonna do anything!
I could have told you that, man.
Yeah, man, I know. She was getting tested with me earlier and upset,
Oh.
so I thought this
Oh.
might snap her out of it, like punching me. And you see a
Oh.
bit of blood and he just doesn't seem to mind.
I
It's
do
like, I'm
know.
expecting her to punch
I
me.
do know though that this is my lab, and there should be something in this that could also help counteract this. Maybe.
I will allow a medicine check because your mind is all over the place.
Can I roll a psychology check to try and figure out the right way to calm her down?
Sure.
Oh, shit. I failed my medicine check. I got an 86 out of 70.
You realize that Marion realizes that maybe there is a drug that could help counteract this because this isn't something you can calm somebody down from. It needs to run through the system.
Because I rolled a 22 out of 53 for my psychology.
Yeah, and you can get a tick.
Cool.
I just mean that because it's drug induced. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's still a medicine check.
So I look at Cadbury and I say, "Where's the whiskey?"
He's
That is
like,
an amazing question.
Yeah, he goes and gets some whiskey. Okay, now, anyone who's listening to this, I am not suggesting, and we are not suggesting to counteract adrenaline with whiskey.
No.
It may work because I find it funny here.
Disclaimer.
Yeah,
Now, this is
a number of factors.
1920s whiskey.
The 20s, and also, we think it's funny.
And also, though, like, in a practical sense, it's something that is familiar and comforting to, specifically, Althea.
Yeah, it's either that or heroin, really. So we move on.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, so he goes and gets some whiskey, pours your glass.
I take the bottle.
You take the bottle.
And I start chugging
He
it.
drinks from the glass.
And I start chugging the bottle.
Yeah.
Maybe not that much. Well, okay.
I do need a constitution check from Althea.
I just watched you pass out again.
It could be a little bit of a shock. to your
Oh,
system.
8% out of 55.
Yeah, you seem to snap a bit more out of it. You're still shaky. I know this is not how this works, but you're still shaky and high strung, energy-wise, but you seem to comforting yourself. You know what I mean? Not comforting yourself. Doing something that is comforting to your
Okay.
character.
Okay, now that I'm calming down a little bit.
Okay, Althea, deep breaths. Yeah, that's it.
Ooh, do I see the body on the floor?
Yes.
I'm gonna go get my hammer.
So she goes over to a drawer and hauls out a hammer.
And I am
Now, is anyone else doing
to take some rage out on this thing.
Simon tries to stop you. Anyone? Marion,
No,
though, you were
sir.
going to say something?
I was just gonna say, what are you doing? But Simon would.
Yeah,
interrupt
Simon's
me.
going to try to stop her.
Whatever came out of
Jesus.
this thing killed members of my staff. They are dead and tried to use one of their bodies at. No, I'm mad. I'm mad, and I still have a little bit of adrenaline
Yeah,
going.
it's Simon.
And now I'm
roll a
slightly
fighting
buzzed as
brawl.
Slightly buzzed, slightly drunk.
Simon does grab you,
Okay.
and he has you around the waist, and he's holding you. And he's like, I wouldn't, I need to get through with this. I wouldn't, fuck with the body, because even though I burnt it, in case there's anything still alive cocooned in that thing, we don't want to get them out.
I shuffle back to the wall.
I'm gonna kind of grab Agatha and pull both of us back a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can punch me again, but for God's sakes, don't hit me with the hammer.
Please don't punch him again. I'm not feeling very good.
Okay. How about then? If there's things inside that, I don't want it in my house. So we're gonna go.
No,
Someone-
how about this? And he interrupts you. He's like, how about this? I'll go get Skeet, and we'll get this body out of here. But one of your friends seems to be shot, and the other one is missing not just their eye, like, there's just a bloody hole there.
What? And I spin around and I'm like, okay, well, I knew I shot Marion.
Wow, there's a sentence.
Oh my. Agatha! What? Okay, and then I'm gonna go into doctor mode. But I did just chug a bunch of whiskey, so I'm gonna be like, Cadbury, I might need your hands right now. Might need your hands. Mine aren't gonna be very, very steady. And I'll guide you through some stuff. Guide you through it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Okay. Agatha, sit up on the table.
You're on
Cadbury, get my bag, and I list off a bunch of things that I need.
I probably will need help on the table. I'm
I-
assuming Amos is going to help me up on
As
the
soon
table.
as I'm either told to leave or you ask me to leave, I'll stick around just because I've been there the whole time.
Yeah. fair enough.
Okay.
You're on so many substances right now. I don't want you handling any equipment.
Oh, no, that's what Cadbury's gonna handle.
I also don't want to be interjecting right now because I'm the least useful here. So just in case anything's curious, I'll just stick with Agatha until either I'm told to leave or she asks me to leave.
Okay.
But otherwise, there's not really much I can interject here.
Yeah, so basically, I want to tell Cadbury what to do to try and,
Yeah, he's going to clean the wound.
clean the wound, bandage
Which
as
is gonna
best we
hurt.
can. We can't stitch it because of the way the hole is or anything, so you can't close it. So it has to be maybe have something put in it and a bandage put over it, or whatever would be done to cover a hole. That
You still
can't
need to make a
stitch.
medicine check.
I know.
Because even though you're explaining it, and Cadbury is...
Can I get a bonus die because he's doing it too?
That's
Yes.
that's very begrudging, yes.
But while that's happened, while this is happening, Simon has ran up the stairs because he's going to go get Skeet.
Yes. I got a 27 out of 70.
There you go.
Okay, you can put a tick in medicine. Okay, yeah, so you talk it through it and they clean out the wound and he packs the wound because he wants the inside to not get infected and he wants it to heal
Yep.
properly. Goes and gets a patch, an eye patch,
Yeah. Okay.
to cover, to keep it from the air so that it needs to be cleaned out continually and drained
Yeah.
Yeah,
because of,
pus.
stuff.
And once we're finished with Agatha, Marion has to get on the table.
Yes.
at some point I'm going to
And
ask for my
burns.
robe
I
back.
have burns as well.
Yeah, you have burns on your hand as well. I'm gonna say with that medicine check, they also wrap your hands.
Right.
Some kind of salve or ointment on them. And
Yeah,
wrap them up.
aloe or
Yeah.
whatever. Something that would work in this situation. I'm not a doctor. But yeah, some kind of cream-based something or other or whatever. To, they're not badly burned, I should clarify. They're just burned. Okay? They're not like flesh blackened, going to have to be replaced, skin grafts. Like,
No,
they're
but
just- they're
hot.
just-
and-
yeah, they're just, when you just
Red.
burn your hand on the stove and it
Yeah.
gets red and it just hurts. That's what it is. So
First degree.
that's what happens. And then as Marion gets up on the table at this point, Skeet and Simon get back. And Skeet's carrying like a tarp. And he has rope over his shoulder. And Skeet just walks in and is like, what's going on here? In another accent that's completely different than normal. What's going on here? For Christ's sakes!
Oh wow, that's a new ski.
Could be.
We've had a bit of a trying time.
Looks like it for sure.
Yes?
Looks like it for sure. I tell you, it looks like it for sure. What are you guys up to? Where'd your eye go?
I'm
That's
not
not
even.
Sorry, I don't mean to be screaming. Where'd your eye go?
It's not very nice.
I'm just not gonna answer. No.
You were shot!
Cadbury, did the rest of the staff all get out?
And Cadbury's like, well, yeah, as far as I know, there was no other injuries. At least 3 missing, though. 3 missing staff members.
We did see 3 bodies.
Ooh. That's not good. No.
I'm now crying.
Cadbury doesn't know how to react to emotions, like human emotions, like tears, like actual things, because he's just like, oh, I can get coffee, and that's what I'm good for. No, he pretty much runs the house, but he doesn't seem to be the type who... So he sort of like steps back a little bit from Marion and pushes Amos forward. Because you're the one who's got the emotional range.
When things are so bad that Amos has the emotional range, you know shit is taking a very steep left turn.
Did we recognize the head that got thrown at Amos?
Ooh. No, it was too...
It was too
Um,
chewed.
Ooh, that's a question.
Yeah, it had a question mark on it.
I would like everyone to roll an intelligence check.
Yeah.
Would I get a bonus die to that? 'Cause it was one of my
Yeah,
staff?
you recognize. You don't need to roll. You
Oh,
recognize.
okay.
It was one of the staff members who used to work in the like laundry services.
Okay.
You don't know
48
their name.
48 out of 65.
Yeah, so you've seen that person around, usually cleaning rooms. You know what I mean? When you've went to your room sometimes and stuff like that. They're one of the people like responsible for stuff like that. I'm not trying to say it in a bad way, Althea.
Yeah.
It's just that there is a lot of staff. So it's hard. And you're always on the go and you're always busy with your own stuff. Hey, you can change the way you are if you want.
I probably will after this.
You need to learn and grow, yeah.
Yeah.
20 out of 60.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Same as Mary, and you've seen this person. You know what I mean? Pushing the cart around,
It was-
doing the rooms.
It was one of the gentlemen who works in the laundry service, and I didn't get a look at the others. I never learned his name. Would you know if he had a family or?
So Cadbury sort of, looks around. He's like, well, I'll get some of the other staff members, and we'll clean up Erie, and I'll find out who...
Jesus, should we be having them clean it up?
No, and I'll look up at that point while I'm like attending to Mary and say, or attending to Mary and say, no, the staff is not cleaning that up.
No, Simon, you've got guys that clean up shit from events like this, yeah?
Yeah, I can make a call to Mr. Black and see if bringing a cleanup crew would probably be the best bet.
The best question for my staff is they're welcome to come back, but they are not required to. That's their own choice after this.
Oh, okay, fair enough. No, makes sense. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Okay, so at this point, I'm just going to fast forward a little bit as Simon and Skeet managed to wrap the body up, and they tied at both ends, and then they sort of have the rope sort of slung over their shoulder across their waist. The Skeet's walking up, and Simon's sort of lifting it, so they're sort of going up like that to get out.
Can I ask a gameplay question since we're at like a time-skipping lull point? Since we've all lost a fair bit of HP, what are the standard methods of raising your HP back up to full again?
Okay, so basically, it has to do with medicine checks. And you get so many hit points back, which I'm going to do at the end based on the successful medicine checks and stuff like that, which will give you a bonus. You're a little bit different, though, because your body sort of rights itself.
Okay.
So you will heal... Like your body's fucked. Like, the innards, the bones are broke, they're not healing together the right way. You're basically functioning as Amos, but really, physically, you're a mess. You got thrown out of that window.
I haven't slept since I flew out of the window.
Yeah, I think everyone is like exhausted as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm sort of doing this. Simon also, before they dragged the body up, uses the phone down here.
Okay.
And he calls Mr. Black, has a quick conversation about getting the cleanup crew over here, and explains a little bit of the situation. And yeah, so that gets done. I do need a medicine check to be done on Marion's leg. And then I'll tie up a lot of...
No, it's fine.
23 out of 70.
Damn.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Bandage cleans the wound. It's clean through, which is good. So, based on what's happened... how many... So, Marion, did you lose... Well, you got shot, so I'm assuming you...
I'm down to 9 hit points out of 12.
So you lost 3 from the wound, the bullet, which is fine. So, Althea, I'm going to have you to roll a D3. So, a D6. Didn't have
2. So I rolled a 4.
Yeah, so you get 2 hit points back from the first aid. And Althea would recommend a good night's rest. Because you're all exhausted and still stinky, so you gotta get cleaned up and blah, 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 blah. Althea, were you hurt at all?
Not during this, but I was at 8 out of 10 from the encounter at the
house.
Yeah.
So that'll be rest.
Yeah.
More than anything else. And then we're gonna go to Agatha. And
I have lost in this encounter.
Well, what's your maximum hit points?
11.
How many hit points do you have left?
6.
Okay, so I'll get Althea to roll a D3 as well from the medicine.
I rolled a 3, so that's 2 hit points.
So 2, but you actually get 3 hit points back because you automatically get 1 because of the hands, the damage you took from the hands.
Oh, okay.
Once the oil and stuff's put on it, and then the rest would be rest.
Okay.
And Amos, you're down.
I'm at 8 out of 13, but one of that was from wrestling with Agatha.
So that one will heal up because that's more like subdual. That's more like bruise
but
damage.
Some of it was from any number of the activities that have been going on.
Yeah. I got hit with a kidney.
I've been like getting hit 1 and 2 periodically for every encounter we've had.
Yeah, which makes sense. You'll get so let's say you get 1 back now from, your body seems to be like writing, like you can feel it gets itchy in areas.
That's awkward.
Yeah, nobody likes their body getting itchy in areas, but yeah, that's oh my.
That's a little weird.
Basically, Althea, in your medical opinion, everybody should get a good rest. Now, it is like 9 o'clock in the morning. But you guys have been up
Yeah, time means nothing right now.
for like 38 to 40 hours.
We're going to sleep until tomorrow morning at 9
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what happens is you're all pretty much, once you get checked out and you get a little bit of painkillers in you and stuff like that, when you go to your rooms, the tubs are filled up with water again.
Well, from
Go ahead.
no, I was just saying, character-wise, Agatha, are you is Agatha being asked to rest in the med bay, or is she going up to her room?
She can go up to her room. They're going to have a staff member at Agatha's room, though. Like, on the outside.
She'll probably help me with everything I need.
Yeah. And probably help you get cleaned up and stuff, too, because you are a mess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I want to walk with Agatha to her room because I feel almost feels like garbage.
Because you've ripped out my eye.
Yes. as much as you could try and convince him that it was the right thing, he feels horrible.
Right.
So as he's walking you to your room, are you? I don't even know if I can ask you if you're okay.
I'll just put my hand on my shoulder and I'll be like, let's just get some sleep. And then I'm gonna, because I'm also exhausted. I just got everything ripped out. I have burns. I'm going to pass out. So I'm just gonna say, let's go get some sleep. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And go and get help from the maid or whoever it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense. Yeah, because there is somebody posted with Agatha.
Yep.
There is actually somebody posted with Marion as well. She did get shot.
Yeah.
So there, you know what I mean? Nobody gives a shit about Amos. So
That's fair.
there's not gonna be
Amos
any-
barely gives a shit about Amos.
Yeah. As far as the hashtag team goes, you're low on the list. No, I'm just joking.
It's
I'm just
true.
joking. You're somebody's favorite character out there. We know you are. We know you are.
Yeah, Simon's.
Yeah. He's chuckling every now and then when he gets bored. He punches himself in the face.
What is happening?
You hear through the intercom. Dick. Yeah, and of course there is 2 staff members posted
Okay.
outside of Althea's room.
So notes about Althea's staff. All of them, whoever comes back, are getting very good pay increases. And also, does Mr. Black come to the house with the staff?
No, nobody showed up to the house by the time in your exhaustion you're heading to
Okay,
bed.
that's fine.
You guys are like exhausted.
I'm gonna tell Simon that if he's speaking to Mr. Black, if he has any connections for people who would like to work as staff here who are perhaps more used to the environment that this house is apparently in terms of work conditions now, the pay is very good. Because I have a feeling I'll have to replace a few people.
I have a question for you, Althea.
Mm-hmm.
What is your charm skill?
My charm
I
skill
know it's bad.
is not great. It's the base of 15.
Do you have a persuade skill?
No, it's the base of 10. I have a credit rating. That's all I've ever needed.
And what is your credit rating?
Get rich
56.
Your credit rating's 56. I want you to go ahead and roll me a charm, and when that fails, I'll have you go ahead and roll me a credit rating.
All right.
Let's start off with the charm.
When that fails.
Hopefully I'm proven right.
I got 34 out of 15.
Yeah. So Simon's sort of looking at you, and he's like, "Oh, okay. So, we're not gonna get the people here from your charming demeanor. But you say money, the pay would be good.
The pay is good.
Yeah, I can put the call out for sure. Can you please roll me a credit rating? I'm not. He'll get people, but I want to know what type of people he gets.
I got 14 out of 56.
You can put an extra credit rating. He's like, yeah, but with your reputation, good to your family, that there's a good chance.
If they're people who are, if through Simon, through Mr. Black, who have people who.
Well, I mean, everything that goes through Mr. Black has to go through me.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't want innocent staff coming into this house who don't know what they're might be getting.
Oh, of course not. No, there's no innocence. But the other thing is, I was meaning to talk to you about this. How would you feel about a little bit of a New England Center of Antiquities outpost being set up on the grounds? Maybe use some of the rooms that you don't use here?
Would it mean you wouldn't be in my lab anymore?
Well, I could just repurpose another room to a different lab.
Okay.
Or I might even be able to find another lab around here anyway. This place is huge. This is ridiculous.
That's fair. All right.
Okay, outpost of the New England Center of Antiquities it is.
Until you piss me off enough that I decide that it's
Oh, well, I mean, once we get the Alistair thing swapped out, anything I piss you off a bit, Alistair will smooth it over.
I'll give it a week.
I'll give it a week.
You can always charge him rent.
No, I'd rather just punch him every time he pissed me off.
And it's side case enough. I know you're nodding along there, Amos, but
Please don't.
yeah. But I'm going to be nice this episode, of course, because what happens is you all get cleaned up, Agatha and specifically, and maybe some other people get helped by some of the staff to get cleaned up, and you get a really good 18 to 20 hours of sleep.
I'll say the staff member helping me out is named Delilah because it's fun.
Write it down. I've just been waiting for people to start naming them.
And if anybody...
That's...
Oh,
What did I say earlier? Jed and Barb.
Jebediah and Barb.
Jebediah and
I'm
Barb.
gonna say the one that's treating me as Lily.
You give me a number of staff, and they will all have names.
6.5. So,
One is just
Half it is.
yeah.
One is just named D.
So you all get a good night's rest. And we can all deal with more horrors now that you're more well rested.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Call. Again, please be on the lookout for our posts about our Twitch streams. They will not be replacing our podcasts, just running alongside them unless there is a lockdown-mandated lull in podcast content, which we are about to get into. So, follow our Twitch page for sci-fi and horror Let's Plays, merch, etc. Our streaming schedule is Mondays, 7:30 to 9:30, Trivia Night, Mountain Standard Time. It's mostly for local people, but if you wish to play online, you're more than welcome to, and maybe later on down the road we'll have rewards from the merch store. Wednesdays, Fridays, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, our Ko-fi donated video game. And Sundays, 3 to 6 p.m. will be Q&A live streams while editing. Until then, our next episode will be Tuesday, March 23rd, with our last episode before COVID hiatus of Spacers on Tuesday, March 16th. The game system used today was Call of Cthulhu 7th Edition by Chaosy. Music, sound effects, and ambient track licensed through Triune Films, Video Copilot, and Artlist. You can find all of Twisted Gears Studios' podcasts on YouTube, Google Play, Apple Music, and Spotify. Please follow and like Twisted Gear Studios on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Twisted Gear. Your players this evening were Janessa Coles, Lindsay Zelansky, Zach Baird, and Elizabeth Wells. Your audio operator tonight was Rob Hickey, and your GM or keeper this evening was Derek Snow. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.